So we drove through Oklahoma City. We're driving through Oklahoma, the state right now. And we stayed in Oklahoma City last night to do because I wanted to see the Oklahoma City bombing site. So my assistant has set me up with this phone holder so I can do a video while I am driving. So that's why I'm not looking at the camera or at the phone, because I don't want to be distracted. A couple things have struck me on this trip that are interesting. So we're driving my dad's truck back. My dad died in May. So my dad died 6 months ago. And I had a lot of time with my dad before he passed away. His truck was very important to him. It was his baby. You know, if I went out towards the end of his life, if I went out and drove his truck, you know, it was a big deal. I went and picked him up from the assisted living home that he was in and drove him home to live out his last days at his home, which I'm very grateful for. But he was very excited that I picked him up in his truck because it meant a lot to him. He was always a truck person. He had a car for a little while, didn't like it. And he was always a Ford truck person. So it was interesting. We were in a little town, like we had gone off the road. I think we were trying to find Route 66. We found this little town. I can't remember the name of it. But we pulled over because we were taking pictures and things of the old buildings, and a grader drove by. For those of you that don't know, my dad worked in the paving industry for most of his life. He was a cowboy when he was younger. In his later years, he worked in logging a little bit, but he was a paver. And one of the things, his specialty that he did for the blacktop and paving crews was driving a grader. So in the middle of this small town, driving Dad's truck back home, and to see a grader was just kind of crazy. And my dad, when he was younger, was a cowboy, and we passed the Cowboy Museum in Oklahoma City, the National Cowboy Museum. And there's a guy there's a statue of a guy, a cowboy on a horse, and the horse is like rearing up, like bucking. And that's one of the things my dad used to do. He used to break horses. He worked on a dude ranch, but he also was a real cowboy, broke horses. He used to tell me stories about a trip he took to California once, and he saw, I think, Gene Autry's horse and Roy Rogers' horse, because they trained them in Southern California. He knew the guys that trained them. So he got to see the horses, the famous horses, movie horses. And from his rodeo days, he did rodeo stuff, and he knew Slim Pickens, who a lot of you know is the actor, from Blazing Saddles and from Dr. Strangelove, the cowboy who rode the bomb down out of the plane. He used to be a rodeo clown, and my dad knew him from that. And we're in Oklahoma, and I see a sign for Kickapoo Avenue. It's like my dad used to tell me stories about going to the Indian rodeo and Kickapoo Joy Juice, and I don't know. It's just weird, little signs that my dad is here. And I mean, he's here. What he left behind, you know, his ashes, some of his ashes are in this necklace. So he's kind of on the trip with us, but that's like he's telling us he's on the trip with us. I don't think that when people pass away that they leave us. I think they show us little signs that they're still with us. So seeing the grader of all things, a guy driving a grader down the street, down like Main Street of this little town, it's just made me smile. And the Cowboy Museum and the Kickapoo. So it's a very special trip for me, and I'm very blessed to be able to make it in my dad's truck. So some things are priceless. This is one of them. Hey guys, it's Poochie. Guess where I am? Any guesses? Guitar-shaped swimming pool. Any guesses? Memphis, Tennessee, home of Elvis Presley. Thank you very much. We are right down the street from Graceland at an Elvis-themed hotel, and I am hanging out next to the guitar-shaped swimming pool. Oh my God, I know. It's just so kitschy and funky, and I love it. So our trip across the United States, we just completed day 4. It was kind of an emotional day. We stopped at the Murrah building where the Oklahoma City bombing was. So that was something. Also, 15 years ago today, kind of lost my best friend. She passed away a couple days after a brain aneurysm. So it's been an emotional day, but we are wrapping it up right. I love this. This is the coolest thing ever. So if you want to be able to not work a 9-to-5 job, wow, you know how to make an entrance. If you don't want to work a 9-to-5 job, or you're tired of working a 9-to-5 job, make cookies by the Elvis pool. Then e-commerce may be something that you want to get into. I post videos on my channel, on my YouTube channel, about how you can start do-it-yourself. I'm happy to help people by posting videos and things like that, instructional, tutorial, things like that. But also we will do it for you. We do several kinds of automation platforms where we will run your Amazon business, or we will run your eBay business, or we will run your Facebook business, both drop shipping and wholesale and arbitrage, all, you name it, we will do it for you. So if you're interested, email us at poochiespack, POOCHIES PACK @gmail.com. Okay, now enough of the commercial. Back to how cool this pool is. Are we having a good trip or what?
I kind of want to clean the pool though.
At home, she's the pool girl. So she's looking and seeing there's a hose and a brush out here, and she's like, ooh, those strings look like they need polished or something. So that's day 4 for us, guys. Tomorrow we're going to do God knows what, but we're going to end up back in North Carolina at some point. So thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you. She appreciates you too.